What's good, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This is Bisker, and today we're going to watch a video that I meant to watch in my previous stream called The Hasan PIKER Effect, and taught by a YouTuber named Pada. Now, if anyone has been keeping up with all of that, you probably won't need any context, but for now, before we get started, make sure you guys check out the original video. If you're watching this live, you could probably open up this video in a new tab and we can watch it along together. Unless you don't really want to have both of them running at the same time, you could mute the other and just listen to this. But I really want to make sure that I get some content from this stream, so let's go ahead and get started. When people are determined to believe a lie, truth becomes the enemy. Pretty much what's been going on for a while now.
The radical left seems to be getting more depraved every day. Now, the latest display, the Young Turks contributor, Hasan PIKER.
Oh, and here we go.
This vulgar rant, mocking a wounded war vet for losing his eyes fighting for our freedom.
Yep, you purchased this two-story, whatever the hell, because, you know, he's a communist with a Gucci bag, got his product kit, gotta have his swag.
In Afghanistan.
This quote. Oh, good lord.
Hasan PIKER has to be one of the most interesting online influencers I've ever come across. The more I look into him, the more confused I get.
Champagne socialist streamer Hasan PIKER said
Champagne socialist. I don't think I've heard that one before.
He was detained at a U.S. airport for hours this weekend and questioned by U.S. Customs and Border Protection about his political beliefs, specifically on Gaza and President Trump.
He was not detained. There is a full timeline of what actually happened. He was never actually detained.
So I looked into this story. It turns out that Hasan PIKER is a liar.
Well, I could have told you that.
A security official acknowledged the incident, telling us, quote, "This is nothing but lying for likes."
I honestly can't tell if he's an absolute genius who figured out how to build a following through emotions, or if he is just someone who's simply part of the outrage mob, but got a platform because of his natural charisma.
That's a lot of... yes, it is. It is a lot. I mean, he's a self-proclaimed socialist, right? Like... yeah, socialism is where the government owns the means of production, meaning that if you ever work at a job under socialism, that technically makes you a government employee. And communism is where no one owns the means of production and everyone shares everything, but you know damn well Hasan is ever going to share anything.
And wealth. On one hand, he speaks with the confidence of someone who knows exactly what he is doing and saying, completely self-aware of the lies and deceit. But on the other, his worldview is so reactionary and shallow that I honestly can't...
Oh, this reminds me, we gotta do a Piers Morgan reaction at some point, but I don't really keep up with Piers Morgan.
Tell if it's intentional strategy or self-deception. Maybe it's somehow both at the same time. This tension is exactly what fascinates me about him, and this is why I am making this video. Because whether it's intentional manipulation or not, the result is the same. A massive online following built...
Yep, and you see... no, this reminds me of when the New York Times tried to do a puff piece about him, and one of the images that they used showed part of his chat that was saying some very, very unhinged things. And so the New York Times had to edit the photo so that it didn't include his chat.
Almost entirely on outrage, certainty, and a total rejection of nuance. An audience that, in my eyes, actually needs help.
Oh, and then this lady who told him not to drink Coke or whatever because it was a boycott.
Help.
A lie doesn't become truth. Wrong doesn't become right. And evil doesn't become good just because it's accepted by a majority.
It is pretty clear that we live in a day where people are naturally drawn to confirmation bias. People just want to hear what confirms their beliefs at the expense of seeking truth. They want to hear from other people who carry the same hatred and perceived injustice on this world. And they want to hear someone who has solutions. sometimes not caring how extreme the solutions can be.
Right, we were just having a discussion about echo chambers.
And I believe this is what makes Hasan PIKER so effective for a lot of people. He taps into something very real people face, especially those with very strong victim mentalities.
Oh my god, freaking iDubbbz. Oh lord.
There is so much frustration, anger, and the need
These people... yeah.
for clarity in this world for so many people, especially young people. But sadly, instead of his audience finding someone who guides them towards understanding, or even toward a desire to seek truth and healing, Hasan leads them toward a weird certainty on what they already believe, that they are justified to hate the world. Instead of encouraging thought, he rewards reaction.
Yep. And I would like to do the exact opposite of that. I want to be able to let people think. I want to promote goodwill towards others, and I want to promote critical thinking, even if it seems like it's something you disagree with.
And this is so much easier for a lot of people to digest. Most people don't like to be told that they are wrong, but we all need...
Yeah, I don't like that either, to low-key, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna go around and take people's lives.
We need to know that we can be wrong at times in our lives. We need to always try to kill the pride that is in us, and we need to stay teachable. And if we only surround ourselves with people that confirm what we already believe, hate what we already hate, and ostracize those who threaten to bring nuance or perspective into our lives...
Anyone who's watching this, if you're a frequent chatter like H here, don't let me go down that path. Whatever you do, do not let me radicalize you, and don't let you guys radicalize me. We are going to be respectful of each other's thoughts and feelings.
We are doing a major disservice to ourselves and those around us. Why? Because if we're not teachable, we stay stuck in life. No one knows everything, and if we believe we can't be wrong, then we have already failed in life. People respect those who can listen, reflect, and change when it matters.
Right, no, he showed PewDiePie dropping the N-bomb, right, just as a joke, and then literally a moment later he was like, uh-oh, I shouldn't have said that, and to this day, PewDiePie still gets hate for it, even though he's long since not only apologized, but has since moved on from it. But people will hold your past and hold it in like the highest regard in order to make it seem like that who you were in the past is exactly who you are now.
No one respects a leader who doesn't own his mistakes. So what happens when a creator...
Oh, I remember seeing this freaking rich bitch over here taking something that should have been for that kid.
It builds their platform not on truth, but on tribal loyalty. Not on critical thinking, but emotional alignment.
Oh, and this guy... May he forever rot in oblivion. That's all I'm saying.
The goal isn't actually to inform, but to affirm views. To constantly reinforce or grossly exaggerate what the audience already believes, already feels, and already wants to be true. Someone who so confidently lies because they know their audience won't try to seek the truth or hold them accountable to what they say. And also, I know this might sound naive, but I actually feel sorry for people who build an audience the way that Hasan has. Because what if, at some point, he wants to bring a level of nuance? What if he finally...
No, that's the thing. People accuse Hasan of being audience captured. Granted, as of recently, at least some of his chatters have been pointing him out, and then he ends up going on major crash outs against them. Like that one time he pulled a gun on someone who tried to call him out for something, and he tried to dox him, thinking that he found a YouTube account that may have been that chatter, but that's a whole other thing.
He sees how much damage he has done. How he's helped push young, vulnerable people...
This was what I was referring to.
...toward political extremism. What if he...
And Luffy the Houthi
...wants to change? I don't think he has any room to change and keep his platform at the same time. And I think he knows this. Because if he tries to pivot, if he tries to speak with real complexity, the very audience he built will turn on him. He's
exactly. That's what people mean when we say audience captured.
Trapped in the world he created. The system Hasan has...
He did all this to himself, and now he's unable to escape. I don't even think he wants to escape. Part of me genuinely thinks that he unironically believes the things he says.
Bolt demands absolute consistency, and I believe that the system will eventually start devouring itself and the person who built it. Not just Hasan PIKER, but what he represents. The influencer who becomes the prisoner of his own audience.
Palestinians have the legal ground to violently seize back their own homes from these settlers.
So for those who don't know who...
Oh yeah, that was the one where he said that Israeli settlers that were born in the West Bank, that were still babies, were valid military targets.
Who Hasan PIKER is, let me introduce him quickly. Hasan started out as a contributor for the Young Turks, a progressive news outlet known for its left-wing slant and confrontational style. He quickly became...
Yeah, he's the main guy, Chen Uyghur's nephew.
Became a recognizable face, but not really due to deep policy insight, but because he was young, confident, and knew how to speak in...
What the heck? What is that shirt that he's wearing?
...in a way that grabbed the attention of other young people.
Right, it's all the... When you control the youth, you control the future, because our children are our future.
Eventually, he moved to Twitch, and that's where everything took off for him. Funny enough, he wasn't really offering detailed analysis or long-form breakdowns of politics. He was just reacting to news in real time, getting angry, making jokes, and keeping his audience emotionally engaged. All under the premise of being some self-proclaimed journalist, or should I say, a self-proclaimed propagandist.
Yeah, he's gone on record saying that he was a propagandist.
As far as me being a propagandist goes,
and he just admits it.
Everyone is a propagandist. I'm just honest about it.
A big part of his appeal was aesthetic. He looked...
Oh yeah, I remember listening to a video about some very unusual outfits that he'd be wearing.
To the part. He sounded like the people watching him, and he said what they were already feeling. He came across as a relatable left-wing alternative to the mainstream, someone who wasn't bored or wasn't boring or wasn't even afraid to be blunt. So his following grew fast, a mix of progressives, socialists, and disillusioned young people. Not necessarily people...
There was this quote that popped into my head where if you're a teenager and you're not a communist, then you're heartless. Whereas if you're an adult and you are communist, then you're brainless. I don't remember who said that. I think I do remember, but...
People looking for depth, but people looking for someone who gets it. Someone who sounds like their side is finally winning. But once you understand how Hasan rose to prominence, it becomes clear why he was so effective. And it has...
Okay, so we're getting, like, into the weeds of how he was able to amass such a following and how radicalized that it's become.
Very little to do with ideas. Hasan doesn't win arguments, he wins reactions.
Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods.
Listen to his voice, to all of you watching. Notice how rather high-pitched and nasally it is, whereas after a certain point, he suddenly starts talking with like a deeper voice that, here's my little imitation. Oh, my name is Hasan PIKER, and this is what I think I sound like.
Dude, his entire approach is built on emotional manipulation.
It's basically the alternative pirate software.
Outrage, sarcasm, mockery, and tribal language.
You stupid There's a reason why he's not on the platform!
Hasan, thank you for...
His freaking rage. Hello, Desmond65. Thank you for following. What's good? Nice to have you here. Yeah, pay no mind to what's going on. I'm just trying to make sure that I get some content.
Being angry so I don't have to be all...
Yeah, we're going back into the Hasan PIKER cinematic universe, as I call it, and calling out bitches who deserve to be called bitches. And Hasan PIKER is one of the biggest bitches in the world.
The time.
He doesn't engage in thoughtful disagreement. He frames issues in a way that makes his audience feel like they're right without ever needing to prove it.
Do you think that is a misfire from a rocket? Because I've shown you the misfires from Hamas rockets.
Oh, I can't wait for my chat to be going that fast.
Does not look like...
Except I don't want them to be... You're good? Alright. Except I don't want them to be as deranged as Hasan's chat.
Like that.
Throughout the years,
hopefully you guys are not anywhere near as deranged.
It's been clear that anger has been his primary tool.
Apartheid defending, bloodthirsty...
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thirsty genocidal furry. Please stop, you're not making any good arguments. No, the only reason why I'm not making any good arguments to you is because you are transphobic, and that's the unfortunate reality.
And here we go, the freaking remarks. Oh, my avatar is in the way. Good. I've gone on record saying that he doesn't need the spotlight. No, I will be in his place. I will take over for him, except I'm not going to be a deranged lunatic. I'm going to be. That's what I am.
reality, and it's probably not going to change.
Never reason or logic, not even evidence.
Or they're literally breaking records after records, not just participating. Wrong! Wrong! You are wrong! You are...
Okay, let's see. Who is, topped, oh my god, I don't want to have to make a video on that. I've already made my thoughts on trans women in female sports.
You are making that up. You have...
Like, I get it. It's like, yeah, I wouldn't want to, like, go all, like, Heather Swanson South Park on a bunch of women.
Read, like, 3 articles from, like, 3 random educators.
But I understand that it's more like a case-by-case basis, but, ugh.
Cases, you are wrong.
Just anger, loud, confident, and pretty constant.
My issue as a trans person is the fact that you, a guy that is...
Actual response to a trans fan criticizing him. No, that's the thing. You'll have people that are part of certain groups, like within the trans community, that call out other people that claim to speak on their behalf, but they'll just end up calling you self-hating.
Is super well versed on trans, brought on a known transphobe, knowing he might bring up transphobic shit. You aren't exactly a Vosh at trans debates. I hope that
what is he gonna say?
The rest of your life is as horrible as it is every single day. Okay.
Oh my god, no. Hello, Davis, sir. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to whatever the heck that we've got going on here. We're doing a deep dive into the Hasan cinematic universe because I just need something to do.
Okay, there you go.
Yep.
Suck my dick.
Oh, good lord. No, I will not suck your dick. Screw you, Hasan.
I despise you.
Wow. Oh, yeah, he calls out transphobia. Yeah, here he is bad-mouthing a trans person. Who'd have thought?
I despise you more than anything else on the planet. You are fucking cancer, okay? You are cancer in this community, and you're cancer in every community. Suck my dick. For the past 15 months, you've been able to fucking hide in these ranks. You catboy. Move your catboy.
Oh my god, that just reminded me of that cat girl streamer that got caught cheating.
Ass out of here. You are never welcome. You are never going to be unbanned, no matter.
Hello, Bamadil, whatever that says. I'm sorry. Thank you for the follow.
How difficult it is, no matter how much you want to get unbanned, I will never unban you. You are now banished into the f***ing Shadow Realm.
Don't you dare take the Shadow Realm's name in vain, you little bitch.
Take his infamous quote.
America deserved 9/11, dude.
Oh my god.
I'm saying it.
That wasn't some bold, nuanced critique of US foreign policy. It was just a blunt provocation.
It was. No, there's no forethought to any of his actions or any of his sayings.
Designed to shock, offend, and stir up the exact kind of emotional response that fuels his brand. Or even his calls to kill your landlords.
Well, my understanding...
Oh my god, yep. Kill them in Minecraft. You see? Because then it's not a real death threat. It's just, you know, I was about to say spawn camping, but I don't think that applies in this context.
Is that the property owners who have properties there choose just not to rent it at all?
Yeah, kill them! Kill those motherfuckers!
Obviously exaggerated, but again, that's the point. This is why his content works so well in the algorithm. Emotion is so contagious. It spreads faster than facts. It's easier to process than complexity or humility. It gives people a sense of moral superiority without ever...
Yeah, that's what's been going on for a long time. People like Hasan thinking that they have the moral high ground when it comes to thinking that innocent people deserve to die just because they disagree with you or because of something that the government did. It's like a lot, like I can use like Iran as an example. It's like the people of Iran. I remember watching a video about someone who visited Iran and took a trip around the country. From what this guy documented, a majority of the people of Iran love America. But they also really hate the government. So it's like the people don't necessarily reflect the government. And obviously, Hasan certainly doesn't represent the government. Well done. Welcome back, Simonette. Thank you for all of this. No. Oh my god, no, it's a party now.
Requiring them to wrestle with uncomfortable truths or competing perspectives.
He who fights with monsters should look to it that he himself does not become a monster. Well said, Nietzsche. When you become the very thing that you sought to destroy, and that's literally what the left has become. It's sad, but it's true. I mean, people have been accusing the right. I know there are plenty of left-wing people that just have their beliefs and want to live their life, just as there's a lot of right-wing people that feel the same. But the extremes just make everyone look bad. Hello, BS 199164. I don't know if I said that right. Thank you for following. Damn.
It is really good to feel like you're on the right side, and feeling that
That is a quote. Yes, it is.
Together with a like-minded crowd, that's something else. That's the power of emotional manipulation.
Right.
And
I don't want to stoop that low. Never let me do that. To anyone in the chat that are watching me right now, never let me stoop to that level. And I'll make sure that I will do the same for you.
Hasan uses it constantly, and I find it impressive how people are so blind to it, especially his own audience. This emotional framing goes hand in hand with another major pattern in Hasan PIKER's content, the constant oversimplification of complex issues.
He only looks at issues from one side and doesn't even give the other side a second thought.
Everything he covers is reduced to a binary. There's always a clear victim and a clear oppressor.
Yeah, no, someone that I watched before would say that it's the neo-Marxist mentality where the quote-unquote oppressed people are always in the right and the oppressors are always in the wrong.
One side is entirely right and the other is entirely wrong. There's no middle ground.
Exactly. As someone who is kind of like spiritually required to be a moderate, I am more or less required to look at both sides and see what they have to say, but I am also required to come to my own conclusion.
Of course, no nuance. No room for difficult questions or moral complexity. In fact, you're not really supposed to ask questions because it threatens the shallow foundations the system is built on.
Exactly. No. Question everything. Even if it's something that you already know the answer to. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
One of the clearest and, for me, most disturbing examples of this was Hasan's response to the October 7th Hamas attacks on Israeli civilians.
Oh no. No, I already know a lot of the... I've been keeping up with all of this since day one. Since day zero, even. I mean, the first time I ever came across Hasan PIKER, here's some little Biskoon lore, was in the content... I was also watching another YouTuber by the name of Jew Boy, who's absolutely hilarious. You guys should check him out. But he reacted to a video of a Jewish man who went into the Hasidic area of like Brooklyn, I think, or somewhere in New York. And Hasan was reacting to the same video. And I remember watching that reaction thinking, okay, I could get by that. But then I saw a video someone made that said Hasan had gone too far. And it was the one where he interviewed what he thought was a Houthi rebel. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't be watching this guy. So I decided to just leave him behind. And then the How Fucked is Hasan PIKER franchise came about. And I was like, oh, when he's 1000% fucked, I said that I will host a watch party. And that is a solemn promise. So stay tuned for that.
There were confirmed reports of rape and horrific brutal
I'm gonna have to censor that if I make this a standalone video.
Assaults during the massacre. And instead of acknowledging that with any kind of clarity or condemnation...
No, what he did is that he said that he didn't care if they happened. That it didn't change the dynamic even the slightest amount.
Hasan said that it doesn't matter.
And like exactly. Here's the quote.
If rape happened.
Doesn't matter.
Yes.
Doesn't
here
matter
it
if
is.
fucking rapes happened on October 7th. Like that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much.
And then there's a Hasan orbiter by the name of Denims who more or less says the same things. She tried to react to a video of a woman where in Denim's words, she was all like, there were no victims ever gave any first-hand accounts. She was watching someone who said someone else was assaulted, but she conveniently ignored the second half of the video where the woman that she was watching, she herself said that she was assaulted. And of course, Denims completely ignores it.
If you don't see this as problematic, you are part of the problem.
Exactly.
Both Israel and Hamas are committing atrocities that are morally unacceptable in any shape or form.
That's the thing. You have to look at both sides. You have to. You can't just take one side and expect to get the full story. That's just not how it works. You always have to look at both sides, even if one side is the side that you don't necessarily agree with. Like, when it comes to some of Israel's rhetoric, like referencing the people of Amalek, obviously that stuff is a little very, like, off color. But Hamas, I don't even want to talk about those pieces of crap.
And if you can't acknowledge that, you need to take a back step and adjust your value of human life. Hasan...
No, I just referenced, though, he showed the former leader of Hezbollah, as I like to call it, who I said that I hope that he's rotting in oblivion, but, you know.
And his audience's perspective on this has been morally indefensible. But the reason he said it is clear. Condemning Hamas's acts would have disrupted the binary. It would have forced his audience to deal with the uncomfortable truth that atrocities can happen on both sides of a conflict. And that kind of complexity breaks the emotional narrative he's built on his platform. This is the danger.
No, with regards to, like, all of the pro-Palestine protests, like the guy that shot those diplomats and all of the other things, like people like the whole queers for Palestine thing. As someone who is gay, I don't really support Hamas in the slightest, but that doesn't mean that I don't care about the people of both Israel and Palestine. I care about all the peoples of all the worlds. So yeah, they can, and Hasan and his orbit can eat my ass.
Of turning everything into a black and white moral story. You stop looking for the truth and you stop thinking critically. Yep. And you start defending whatever fits the narrative, even if it means turning a blind eye to violence, abuse, or injustice. He calls his platform political commentary. It's not. It's pure indoctrination. When you have an audience, especially one made up of young, impressionable, and often disillusioned people, you have a...
Yeah, it's always the youth, right? You got to get them while you get them while they're young, as they say.
Responsibility. And that responsibility is to constantly try...
I fear the day that Gen Alpha discovers Hasan, and then they...
to seek the truth together, to try to stay open, and to try to be teachable. If you build your influence on moral certainty without humility, you're leading people toward a trap, and the ones who follow you will suffer for it. When emotion replaces thinking, and complex ideas get reduced to black and white morality, the natural result is tribalism. Exactly. And Hasan has mastered it. Nearly every debate he engages in is framed as us versus them.
It's been like that since basically the dawn of time. From when the first civilization started to rise, it was always like in Mesopotamia, people were generally loyal to their cities, and each city had their own god that they worshiped. And these cities would take turns conquering each other until you have Sumer and Akkad and all the others in between.
There's always an enemy. Conservatives, liberals, landlords, centrists, radlibs, bootlickers, incels, you name it.
Exactly. I actually mentioned it was either my previous stream or the stream before that, where I had mentioned that I don't believe in the political spectrum, and I don't believe in any political ideologies because I don't want to give in to any of this rabid tribalism. I just can't. I mean, there are more spiritual reasons why I don't believe in the political spectrum, but that's this tribalism and all of that in these echo chambers and stuff. That's just one of the reasons.
And if you disagree with him, even slightly, you're not just wrong. You're morally corrupt and you get placed in one of these categories.
You become the Austrian painter.
This kind of language is actually quite clever because it dehumanizes the opposition. A system built on feelings has no room for sympathy or shame. So, if you convince your following that the enemy is completely morally bankrupt and out to get them, you remove any sense of humanity. Hasan has built more than a community. He has built an identity. If you watch him...
Hasanism, we're gonna call it. Wait, is this the one where he tried to show that guy the quote-unquote Houthi musical?
Then you're on his team. You're part of his tribe. And that...
Oh, I think it is.
means loyalty always comes before truth. One aspect that has fascinated me so much about Hasan's following is how they eagerly dismiss the blatant hypocrisy right in front of them. Hasan PIKER is a self-proclaimed revolutionary.
Yeah, self-proclaimed revolutionary. No, this just reminded me of the scene from the Boondocks episode where Granddad's old army military friend had passed away and they went to go to his funeral, and Huey and Riley reunite with their old friend Cairo, and Cairo made a new friend that is, apparently there's a term for people like them. They're called hoteps, where he was all like, what's up? Struggle is up, brother. Oppression is up, brother. Salami, eggs, and bacon. My name is Dewey. Oh, ba ba ba. Ooh. Mama say, mama sa, mamakusa. Jenkins. How you gonna call yourself a revolutionary and you ain't got no poems?
A man who preaches anti-capitalism and presents himself as a voice for the working class.
Yeah, and he's got $1 million mansion.
He regularly speaks out against billionaires, landlords, corporations, and the systems that uphold inequality, or supposed inequality.
I mean, the thing is, I'm sure a majority of people aren't particularly fond of the top 1%, but that doesn't mean that we should go around threatening them in Minecraft.
But this is not coming from a place of substance, and it's certainly not coming from someone who actually...
Yep, Porsche Taycan, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that right.
He rejects the values of capitalism. Because Hasan is...
And the irony is, he's Twitch's golden boy. Twitch is owned by Amazon, which is one of the embodiments of capitalism that also supports Israel.
A perfect example of someone who benefits massively from the very system he claims to oppose. If I tell you I'm a vegan, but you catch me eating steak maybe 2 or 3 times a week, at some point, you're going to stop taking me seriously.
That reminded me of some meme that I saw where it was like, I'm an atheist that believes in God. We exist. And then someone responded with, oh, I'm a vegan that eats meat. We exist. And that just reminded me of that.
That's Hasan. He constantly rails against capitalism while living in a $3 million mansion in Los Angeles. He streams on Twitch, a platform owned by Amazon, one of the very corporations he claims to hate. He makes money through ad revenue, YouTube content, merch, and brand sponsorships.
Yep, and of course, we've got freaking Assassin's Creed Shadows featuring the blind brother samurai.
By every measure, he is a successful capitalist.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Content creator. And somehow his audience is constantly defending it. One reason being because he donates to charity. As if this erases the contradiction. But what's really happening is this. He is playing with your emotions. He's making you feel good about what he is doing with his money. And
no shit, that's what people do all the time. That's why you have all influencers like freaking Logan Paul flaunting their wealth because they want to make people jealous. You see, people hate it when others are glistening and shining, and so they make up stories about you, like Gangstalicious being gay.
Uses this to distract you from the fact that he is a capitalist preaching communism. You can't make this up. He critiques consumerism.
He's a communist with a Gucci bag, got his Prada cake, gotta have his swag.
But participates in influencer culture.
Exactly.
He critiques power, but he lives in luxury. And when confronted on it, his personal justifications are always the same, that it's fine to exist in the system you are trying to change. But he is not just existing in the system. He is well above the 1% of the population of the world who is benefiting from the system.
Pretty much, right? People like him complaining about the top 1%, even though he's seemingly part of it.
Thinking of coming up with some kind of funny analogy around this, but being a champagne communist in itself is so ridiculously in-your-face hypocritical that I don't even need one. Now, the problem with this is not that he's just financially successful, it's the fact that his entire brand is built on the illusion of being something he clearly isn't. This alone really should make anyone question, is he actually a revolutionary? Or is he just some rich content creator who figured out how to monetize left-wing talking points?
What are the odds? What are the odds that he doesn't actually believe in the things he says? He's just doing it for the money. I mean, he was at like the anti-ICE protests and riots like back when those were happening, so he probably does believe all the things he says, but you never know.
And how to monetize people's emotions. The more that Hasan tries to present himself as morally above the system he's profiting from, the more obvious it becomes that the entire brand is built on a performance. And if anything, I really hope his young viewers lose the rose-tinted glasses and realize how blatantly fake Hasan's views are.
I mean, in recent days, his chat has been beginning to notice.
especially if he isn't practicing what he is preaching. I really want you guys to know that this whole video is not here to attack Hasan or his character, but this is to try to educate.
Yeah, we attack the arguments, not the person. Attacking the person, well, there's two different versions of that. There's ad hominem and then there's ad personam.
Anyone who watches him that it is important to constantly desire to seek truth.
Exactly.
And to know that you and
to seek the truth no matter what the cost.
Your heroes could be wrong. I know I could be wrong.
They say never to meet your heroes, and I guess Hasan is a very good example of that.
Wrong every day, and that's why I approach everything with critical thinking and my own analysis. And this is why I also choose to live my life accountably to wise men around me. And thinking this way has personally also led me to Christ and Christianity. And this is why I believe it is important in life to approach everything critically.
I still haven't really explained what it is I actually believe with regards to faith and stuff. I think that deserves an entire discussion in and of itself. I know I've mentioned that I don't believe in the political spectrum, and I did say that Hasan Nasriblis, as I call him, would be burning in oblivion, but I'm gonna have to explain that later.
This brings us back to the core of it all, what I am actually calling the Hasan PIKER effect. Like I said before, when you build your entire audience on outrage and ideological purity, you eventually lose the ability to think freely. Hasan can't change his mind.
No, people on both sides will think of themselves as free thinkers, but they're really just regurgitating what others have told them.
He can't explore nuance. He can't question his own side because his audience doesn't fully follow him. They follow a version of him that fits their expectations. This is the trap that Hasan has unfortunately found himself in.
Yep, audience capture. I know I said this is the third time that I said it, but gotta keep reiterating it.
There have been moments where even his own community turned on him.
Yeah, I just mentioned, no, I remember. There was a good example of this where he was, like, back when India and Pakistan not too long ago were threatening nuclear war, and of course, Hasan had to take the side of Pakistan because he's always on the side of the terrorists, and people were kind of calling him out on it.
Not because he betrayed some principle, but because he showed the slightest deviation from their approved narrative. Whether it was being a little too soft on a centrist guest, not going far enough in his criticism of it.
Oh my god, being too soft on a centrist, that actually reminds me of a content creator that I had to stop watching because they were saying some very bullshit things, but that is a story for another time.
Israel, or showing any hint of uncertainty. But in these moments, Hasan resorts to what he knows works. Emotional outrage.
No
emotional damage.
You dumb fucks. The entire point is humanizing these people.
And here, all the crash outs. No, we need to react to a freaking Hasan crash out compilation and just have some fun with that.
That's the whole point. Can all of you just collectively shut your stupid woke mouths up?
Oh my god.
I don't think.
Oh, he's telling them to shut their woke mouths up, even though he's like the embodiment of woke.
This will work forever, but I guess we'll see. The irony here is brutal. Hasan has spent years building an audience by playing into moral absolutism and emotional certainty. But now a lot of his audience are even more radical than...
Oh, and here we go, and this is why... No, we were talking about the Charlie Kirk situation at the beginning of the stream, and I figured that reacting to this video would be a good segue, and here referencing the... wanting to assassinate the president because, of course.
He is. He created a space that encourages and welcomes ideological purity. And now he has to perform every day. He's not a journalist. He's an actor with a stage. A clear and pretty hilarious example of this is he knows his audience hates Asmongold.
Oh my god, no. He can't stop talking about Asmongold. That's the thing. It's because Asmongold is more popular than him, just overall. Asmongold gets a whole lot more viewers than Hasan does, at least at the current moment. And so he's really just jealous. He's very jealous, and Asmongold has been taking a break in order to help out his dad, and of course, Hasan can't help but keep on talking shit.
So what does he do every single day? He talks about Asmongold.
I've never actually
heard. Oh, yep.
heard Charlie say, actually, the AFD is not a neo-Nazi party, but even if it was, that's kind
Hasan explaining why Moist Critical, oh lord.
of good.
Yeah, there's a reason why Moist Critical stays out of this kind of stuff. Apparently, Moist Critical got into some hot water regarding thinking that kids shouldn't be allowed to get sex change operations, and he got a lot of flack for it, so he decided just not to talk about that stuff anymore.
Do you guys remember when I said that? I forgot.
No, I don't remember. It's very clear that that Hasan made it up.
We should make sure that migrants coming out of lower, inferior cultures don't actually tarnish the blood pool of the Fourth Reich.
Oh lord, this Hasan is so full of shit, it's not even funny. I say that even though I'm laughing because, you know, sometimes you can either laugh at the chaos or you can cry about it, and here we're gonna laugh.
He has consistently defended Israel, attacked.
When did I defend it?
No, he's neither pro-Israel nor pro-Palestine.
I defend Israel.
But also simultaneously loves Nick Fuentes.
Oh my god, no. I have some of these quotes ingrained in my memory, but some of them I don't remember all the way, and so when I hear them again, it's like the absurdity in the things that Hasan says.
I do.
Regularly.
Wow.
Will hype up Nick Fuentes.
The amount of sarcasm in Asmongold is immense.
You figure Asmongold is anti-Semitic on purpose or just
I can't stop.
Ignorant and apathetic? Could be either.
Why would I be anti-Semitic? I thought just a minute ago I was defending Israel.
He also doesn't whine all the time.
Says the guy who whines about Asmongold. No, I'm thinking about it and it just makes it funnier.
Don't tell me what Asmon is saying. What the f does he know?
Oh my god. No, we have to. We need to do a Hasan crash out compilation. Oh my god. Oh,
What's happening
Lord.
here is bigger than one creator, because this is what happens to anyone who builds a community on ideological purity and emotional outrage. It doesn't matter if you're left, right, or somewhere in between, the outcome is always the same. Yes, you can easily foster huge communities through confirmation bias, but I believe outraged communities will eat their own. At first, I'm pretty sure...
No, the left has been kind of cannibalizing each other for a while now, especially since the election. I mean, we have Hasan's uncle crashing out at the establishment Democrats that clearly don't know what they're doing, and then we have people in the left crashing out at each other for not agreeing on every single little thing, and it's just not a fun time.
It feels powerful, there's unity, momentum, and moral clarity, but over time the standards tighten, the purity tests multiply, and the second someone, even the leader, steps slightly out of the line, the mob turns inward. Nuance has never been more important. And with that, honest, healthy disagreement has never mattered more. But people are afraid to think out loud, because people are terrified of rejection. Thinking out...
Yeah, I don't think I've ever said this to anyone, but I've always low-key had this mild fear of rejection. Like, I never really ask for anything. Like, if I were something that I wanted that I know my parents could, like, get for me, I don't like asking for things. It's just not in my nature. I don't want to be a burden to anyone, but sometimes you have to do what you can, right?
Loud means taking risks. It means being vulnerable, being wrong, being misunderstood. And inside outrage culture, there is no space for that. What's left is a community that doesn't grow. It just reacts. It polices itself, silences dissent, and hardens into something more like a cult than a conversation.
I will never let that happen to me, and I will never let that happen to you guys either. I appreciate every single one of you.
The best example of this is the platform Reddit. We live in a digital ecosystem that thrives on outrage. Not thought, reason, or even honesty, but the speed and sharpness of emotional reaction. How quickly can I hate, attack, or destroy someone's life who I disagree with? The more dramatic you are, the more engagement you'll get. The more tribal, the more viral. And that's how we've ended up here.
Yeah, I don't want to have to do that just to get views on either of my channels. I just want to be able to talk about stuff, and then you guys watch me talk about those things. Simple as that. And then we can talk here on stream.
In a landscape where loyalty is valued over truth, and where the people who rise to the top are often the ones willing to say the most extreme things, the fastest. Hasan isn't an outlier. He's the natural product of the system, but now he's also the prisoner of it. A prisoner of the persona he built and the ideological purity he helped normalize. If your community can't tolerate nuance, it's not a community, it is a cult.
Right.
This has been a very interesting video for me to do. While scripting this, I had to delete quite a lot because I don't want to come across as attacking Hasan's character. He doesn't help himself. I did try to watch his videos and enjoy them from his perspective, but it has been very difficult.
Imagine unironically watching Hasan for this kind of thing. No, we got a trooper over here. Let's give him a round of applause. I mean, I shouldn't have done that. That just seems weird.
Because he rejects seeking truth. And for me, that is a very dangerous value to uphold. If you've come across this...
Yeah, people will say things like my truth versus your truth, even though there is only one truth, right? And that one truth does not care about your feelings. Trust me, I know.
Video and you actually are a huge fan of Hasan's. Please don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to demonize
there better not be any Hasan fans here.
you. I'm just trying to help you think for yourself. Think critically about what you are hearing and what people are saying to you. Thank you guys for watching this video.
Of course. Here, allow me to... I'm gonna leave a like here just so we can show some support. That was a great video. No. They're very informative. No. I've been keeping up with the Hasan BS since day zero, if anything. And as I said earlier, when he's 1000% fucked, which is when he's either arrested or deported or something in between, then I will host a watch party and it's going to be good and it's going to be great. But if you're watching this as a standalone video on YouTube, thank you for watching. Make sure you check out the original videos. I'll put links in the description. And have a nice day. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And this video was streamed live on both YouTube and Kick. Be sure to check out the VODs for unedited footage as well. Take care.